Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all well. Today we are going to talk about being sober and what that means in the summer. So for those of you new here, hi, I'm Eloise. I am currently over 1.5 years sober. I have been on a sober journey and I have documented it on YouTube. So if you're into that sort of content, please hit that subscribe button. I hope you'll stick around. And for those of you who have been here before, welcome back. So coming into summer can actually be quite a scary time. I personally think that summer's actually harder than like Christmases and birthdays, purely because there isn't much, or it feels like there isn't much to distract you. Anyone that, you know, has previously been quite a big boozer, quite a heavy drinker, sun coming out is literally like the mating call of drinkers. Like, you're straight in the beer garden, someone's having a barbecue, Tesco, Asda have all got their deals on, you know, and it is just like the bank holiday weekend, who's getting the drunkest? You know, you start on Thursday, you finish when you finish kind of thing. So whereas at Christmas, there's like a lot of other activities, there's presents, there's food to think about. Whereas in summer, if we're being honest, it's very drink heavy. And I don't know if that's just in the UK or if that's internationally, but over in the UK, that's what our summers look like. You know, festivals, beer festivals, there'll be local events where they've got a beer tent, you know, and it's a lot. So hopefully this video will help you break that down a little bit, digest it a little bit easier, and realise that summer doesn't have to be about the booze, and you definitely can enjoy it sober. Okay, so you're going to be around alcohol, you're going to be invited to barbecues, you're going to be invited to different events, because once the sun comes out, everyone wants to socialise. What I cannot stress to you enough is that you can say no. You don't have to attend every single event. You don't have to go just because so-and-so's going or so-and-so's invited you. If it's going to affect your sobriety and it's going to cause you to feel negatively impacted, no event is worth that. However, if you are up for going and you want to socialise, I would really recommend finding out what your alcohol-free drink of choice would be, because there's nothing worse than turning up to a barbecue or turning up to an event and all they've got is Prosecco, beer, cider, everything that can be really tempting, but also you've made the decision you're not going to drink that. You want to make sure that you come fueled up and ready to go. So I am obviously a brand ambassador for Clean & Co. I will leave my code down below. So if you was previously a spirit drinker, like gin, tequila, vodka, they have all really great alternatives. So you can just turn up with your nice bottle of alcohol-free spirit, some mixers, and you won't feel like you're not part of the party. The other option is beers, ciders. There's loads on the market now. You know, even the supermarkets stock them. So you haven't got to do tons and tons of research. You haven't got to pre-order online. And yeah, you can just go along and feel a part of it. So you've tried some alcohol-free drinks. You're, you know, enjoying having alcohol-free beer or wine or whatever it is that's your tipple in the sunshine with your friends. But I can't stress to you enough, you being sober doesn't stop other people getting drunk. And other people being drunk aren't as fun, in my opinion, when you're sober. So you might want to try out some sober events. I'm based in Essex and there are loads in London, loads in all the big cities, some of them online, some of them in real life. Do a little bit of research, go onto Eventbrite, go onto Design My Night, and you will be surprised just how many sober events there are. I know there's regular boat parties on the Thames, which are like, they're like bottomless, I think they're called bottomless booze-free cruises or something like that. So you pay for your ticket. I think a ticket's like £40–50, and that's you set for the day. And it's always, generally speaking, sober events from the daytime, which for me is perfect, because, you know, if anyone else has got sober, you will not be surprised that late nights probably aren't as appealing as they used to be when you was fueled up on vodka Red Bull. So a lot of them are daytime events. There's also like Sunday run clubs, there's the book club, I'm part of a book club, and obviously going to all these different events you meet sober people, so then they will probably want to meet up outside of the event. So my next tip is finding your sober tribe. Now, some of your friends may not be sober, but they may enjoy activities that don't involve alcohol. I know when I first got sober, a lot of my friends were relieved that there was something else on the cards than just the pub, because I was always the biggest drinker of my friendship groups. So that worked out really well for me, but I know that isn't the case for everyone. So finding your sober tribe could be new friends, it could be old friends. You know, once you get sober, you'll be surprised how many people kind of come out of the woodwork, especially if you're open and honest about it online. I know when I first got sober, I had a lot of people reaching out to me and saying, oh, like, I'm sober too, like, how are you finding it and stuff like that. Someone that's gone through this process will always want to help someone else. You know, we're a really friendly bunch. So don't be afraid to kind of search hashtags, you know, sober in your area. There's also a lot of Facebook groups now, like we've got Sober in Essex, and there'll be people that live in Essex and they just chat. You know, it's really important when you're trying to stay sober and potentially struggling with it to have people around you that get it. Not everyone is in a fellowship, not everyone feels the need to be completely teetotal and, you know, reinvent their life, but I do believe that the best way to stay sober is to have other like-minded people around you. Okay, so we spoke about alcohol-free drinks, we spoke about events, we spoke about finding your sober tribe, and I've touched on social media, but I'm going to go back onto that now because this is a really, really big one. For me, you know, changing what you're being influenced by is really important and was a massive, massive step of my sober journey. I remember when I first got sober, I unfollowed a lot of people that were like, not advertising because it's just people living their lives, but people that generally, you know, love going out every weekend and socialising and are constantly on their stories with drinks and shots, all of that. Like, that wasn't going to be my story anymore. So why did I want to watch other people do it? So I really, really changed the content I was looking at. And, you know, if you're having a day where, you know, the sun's out and you would love to go to a beer garden and you would love to have a drink, but you know you can't do that anymore, seeing other people out doing all of that can be really, really triggering. So you need to be mindful of what you're following. If you don't want to unfollow people, the mute button is amazing on Instagram. You know, on Facebook, I think it's called Take a Break and things like that. So don't feel like you can't set them boundaries. You haven't got to go around and message people and say, I'm unfollowing you because of X, Y, and Z. You can just do it, you know, find your peace and make sure that the things that you are seeing on your news feed are related to things that align with you. You know, you want to follow sober drink companies, you want to follow other sober advocates, people that are going to be sharing events about things that you're interested in, rather than making you feel a bit left out and like, oh, maybe I could go out and have one. So the next thing I want to talk about is finding a sunshine hobby. Now, I found YouTube when I got sober and I absolutely love it. I'm not saying everyone needs to jump in front of the camera, but a lot of people I know have found having a hobby helps them stay sober, because we have a lot of hours in the day, you know, and for a lot of us, drinking was part of everyday or if not weekly rituals. So you need something else to really fill that void. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. So you're going to have to find something, and the sunshine is a great time to do that. You know, if you are into fitness or you want to get into fitness, bike riding, you know, going out for walks, there's a lot more on offer in the summer, I feel, in terms of going outside. You're not chained to staying in the warm and, you know, avoiding the cold. So definitely have a look at, you know, what can you do to try something new? What can you do to add to your time and something that's going to make you feel good? So the next one is something that I really wish I had done, but obviously if you know my story, you know that when I first got sober, I was really, really mentally unwell and it was life or death for me. So, but if you're kind of in a clear-headed position and you've chosen to get sober and you've kind of got your wits about you, then something I really wish I'd done in that first summer was track my spending, or lack of. I don't know about you, but I spent many of my teenage and early 20s drinking out my overdraft, and I had no fear of it. You know, to me, that was an extra X amount of money gifted from the bank, and I would give it back as and when I wanted to. You know, credit cards, it goes hand in hand. If you're drinking a lot, you lose your inhibitions, you don't care what you're spending, you might become really generous. So, you know, now when I go out, if I go out for dinner or if I meet friends and they order drinks, I don't tap onto that bill. I always pay separately. That's kind of agreed. Unless it's just like one or two, then I don't really care. But if they're going out drinking and I'm coming, I will probably have a separate bill, because, you know, I'm going to have one drink to their three, because I'm not downing my fresh water. So yeah, keep track of what you're not spending. You know, if you used to go to a beer garden from Friday night to Sunday, how much would you spend? You know, if you look at cabs, if you look at food, if you look at drinks, you know, shot, all of that, keep a little tally and you'll be surprised at the end of the summer how much you've impressed yourself. And maybe you could even reassign that money, you know, create a little savings pot, and at the end of the summer you might have already paid for your Christmas shopping. Yeah, I think that's a great way to really motivate you as well. When you see that number going up, you know, every day you're another day sober, but you might also be £10 richer, which I really wish I'd done, but I just reinvested my money in makeup. So the last thing I'm gonna suggest is journaling. Writing your thoughts down, making sure that, you know, if you are feeling uneasy or unsure, you're not keeping that on your chest. You know, if you don't have someone that you can directly speak to, journal it, get it off your head, get it out, and really clear your mind. If you can do this every day, some people find when they're struggling, once in the morning and once in the evening, even if it's just a couple of sentences, you know, today this happened and it made me feel, or today I was really grateful for this. You know, try and always find the positive in every day, but don't be hard on yourself if some days are a lot harder than others. You know, this is a whole journey. You're learning a new way of living a life, you know. It's a bit like learning to walk and talk again. You don't know what you're doing, you're giving up a person that you used to be, and it's completely normal to feel a little bit confused and out of the loop and everything else that comes with that. So yeah, just hang in there. My Instagram is always below. My DMs are always open, but find your sober tribe, talk to people and enjoy it. You know, this summer you're going to be present, you're going to be out in the sunshine, you're going to remember to put your sun cream on, you know, you're not going to fall asleep drunk in the sun and get stupid tan lines. You know, you can go home at a reasonable hour, you could get up and see the sun rising, not just the sun setting. So yeah, I hope this video helps you, and I hope that you have an amazing summer come what may. And you know, if you're new to this sober journey, then welcome. I wish you the best of luck, and let's have an amazing sober summer. I will see you soon for another little video. Thank you so much for watching.